I almost forgot what my unmute buttons were, so that was about to be a whole thing.
Is his mic muted again?
Oh no! No! So the recording caught it. Oh my god! Oh man! Everything went so smooth, and I thought we were gonna be able to transition right in.
No, we will not have a smooth transition whatsoever.
Oh crap!
I'm sorry, bro. That's a bad time and a half.
That's a way to start.
Big reminds me of the very first one.
Yeah, right? Let me just recover myself here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Endgame Content, a show where three idiots talk about things they think they know a lot about. I got that right this time. Starting to my right, the man who once slapped me so hard, my neighbor recoiled. WhiteLighningBean, Corey, say hello.
Hey.
Next, the man who could play Larry, Curly, and Moe all at once, Astro Chomp. Max, say hello.
Hi.
And as you guys can see, we have unlocked our very first special guest DLC character, Mr. DarkLancer. Say hello. You hold a...
Yo, sorry I'm not Uno, but I'll do my best in Uno's stead.
Did you bring a reverse card? See, we're already...
Yeah, I'm stacking draw twos, man. We're stacking draw twos until somebody draws 30.
Fuck.
Somebody's drawing that 30.
Oh, that's gonna be me. And then, of course, there's myself, the most superior of eggs, Angered Egg. Hello, everyone. I am the most superior of eggs. No other egg we've come across has been able to combat it, so...
Nope.
I mean...
I stand superior, except to hard-boiled eggs.
I mean, there's how to basic.
Oh, true.
He's not an egg,
I don't
though.
think that's a fight you... He is? Well, no, he's an egg destroyer.
Yeah, he's an egg destroyer. That's not a fight I want. Oh, goodness. So, since you're our guest, Mr. Lancer, why don't you start out? Tell us what you've been playing on, off stream, what you've been, looking forward to.
All right, so I have my usual stream stuff. I have Mario Maker on Sundays. I got IWA and like whatever game I'm playing at the time on Monday. So IWA is a fantasy wrestling league. I'll get back to that in a second. And then Tuesdays is Mario Kart night. So just playing Mario Kart, playing ranked. And then off stream stuff and extra games that I'm playing on Monday nights are like Ori and the Blind, not Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Oh, I was watching him play that. The game looks so good.
It's so good.
It's so beautiful.
I just call it Ori 2. And then I've been playing was it Doom Eternal? Played a little bit of Animal Crossing. Sorry to steal your thunder, Lightning Bean. Sorry. And
can't be lightning without thunder. One or the other.
Yeah, and Phantasy Star Online 2.
I
Mondays.
need that game in my life.
Mondays during the day, I play with a buddy of mine from Chicago, where I'm from. We used to play back in the day in the Dreamcast days, so we're playing that now with his kid and stuff. So, but
nice.
When I'm not doing that, I'm doing editing for the show for IWA.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about that. Feel free to plug yourself a little bit here, because you're our guest, you're new. So talk about what IWA is.
Okay, so basically, I'm gonna very quickly start where it kind of, came to be. I used to be, kayfabe GM for another wrestling league, and after a while, I was just like, all right, we kind of went separate ways. No hard feelings, nothing like that. But a friend of mine, Strife the Warrior, the co-host, he approached me. He's like, hey, why don't we do our own league? And I was like, dude, I already did this for, however many months. He's like, no, listen, it's going to be different. It's not going to be like anything anybody's doing. And I'm like, all right, I'm listening. And he's like, all right, so we'll record the matches, right? We'll do an RNG. And then we'll do post editing. So we'll produce a whole show, cutscenes, dialogue, we even down to the wrestlers' intros, because WWE 2K19, you can't have like your own custom music.
Yeah.
So we do that in editing, and also we have a Strife does the announcer voice, so from
That's
Chicago,
pretty cool.
Illinois. DarkLancer, you know. So
Yeah.
and we're currently in. So IWA Clash is like our house show, quote, you know, the house show.
Yeah.
Like our Monday Night Raw, basically. We do that 2 weeks on, and then we're off a week. 2 weeks on, off a week, because editing is, production is a really long process.
It's a
So
bitch.
it is. I mean, I love it. I wouldn't trade it, but it gets a little bit. You know, we start to kind of wear down a bit after a while. So we are
Yeah.
13 episodes in on IWA Clash, and we have already done 3 pay-per-view, like, you know, bigger events.
Yeah.
So total 16 episodes so far.
Nice. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but kayfabe is it's the industry speak for in character.
Right, or
yeah.
it's like, I guess it's like, I think it's like Pig Latin for fake or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like
that's
you have to flip the letters around.
Yeah,
it's
I know. In the industry, it's essentially what they mean, what they use for when you're in character.
Yeah, when you're in character, or and then you don't ever break kayfabe.
No.
Under any circumstances, you know. So we're kind of like in kayfabe from the moment the show starts till it ends.
That's really cool. I like that. I've been meaning to go back and watch it. It sounds really cool.
Yeah, we got a whole website. I run the website.
Nice.
So yeah, I keep the roster updated. Strife does I did a lot of recruiting when it first started, and then now Strife's kind of taken that over. He's doing more of the recruiting, and then we also do the booking as far as matches. We do creative together, so we're always writing the storylines.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know,
together, wow, you guys really go in depth with this.
Yeah, it's pretty in depth. I was gonna before that I was gonna do a podcast, actually, so it's kind of cool. I'm on one now, so it's like, oh cool, I get to be on a podcast and I don't have to do any of the scrubbing, because I know there's a lot of work in podcasting. So I'm like, man, I couldn't even imagine doing IWA and podcasting at the same time. It'd be insane. You know,
I don't do a lot of post stuff as of right now. Pretty much what happens live is what goes up on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're
as of right now.
Uncut.
As of right now, I don't
Beautiful.
have any like big fancy intros or outros or anything. So it's kind of just whatever I come up with, man. That's what we're getting.
Just get that douchey intro and outro where it's like, you know, what is it, like the dubstep music? And,
Yeah, eventually, you know, when it's actually, you know. Oh, so that's really cool.
Yeah, we put a lot of time into it. We've been doing it since October of last year.
Damn. All right.
So, yep.
Son.
We're in season 2. We're in season 2 now, and we took a month break. You know, just kind of recharge the batteries.
Yeah,
and,
you gotta take
and we're
breaks every
back.
once in a while.
Yeah, and we're back. Our current arc is insane. Like, I feel like our first 2 episodes in season 2 are just like, holy shit, you know, like that's kind of the reaction that we've been getting in our Discord, and then people in our Discord is like a extension where people get to, you know, lay down promos. They could do it on text, or they could do it on they could lay down an audio track and throw it in the promo section. So, you know, basically, you know, The Rock, Stone Cold, you know, like all those guys throwing.
Gotta
throwing
love,
those
man. The
promos
promos
out.
are the best parts of it. As an avid wrestling watcher, that's my favorite part, is to hear all the great promos, because these guys, they're charismatic as hell.
Yeah, and they, you know, my girlfriend, she's in the league as well, and she puts up a blog. She has her own website, and you know, she puts up her own blog every week that there's an episode. I think she's done it every week. She put up a blog post,
Nice.
and you know, like I said, it kind of goes with the character, and it you know, extends, you know, her character, her storyline, you know, et cetera. So
Okay. Oh. All right. Well, let's move on to Corey. What have you been up to lately? Animal Crossing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry.
Animal Crossing.
That's really it? That's all you've been up to?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Sorry,
Corey.
I was cracking a joke. I didn't think that's all you've been doing.
Yeah, it was just really between that and work. Just...
No, oh yeah, that's right. You do a lot of work, so.
Catching that Rona.
Yeah, get that Rona. All right, Mac. What about yourself? What have you been up to when you and I have been shitting on people?
Fuck. We have been back in the league because I reinstalled it a couple weeks ago. Fucking, I got over my little bit of rage with meeting my first purposeful thrower because I thought those were a joke. I was very fucking wrong.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god.
People
I
exist
won't go
to
into
throw
that, though.
games, and that's it.
I've been playing a lot of Siege and Valorant with boys. Pretty fun stuff. They get to watch me lose my shit every now and then when I go ham a little too much. Egg can attest to that. Had one today. It was awesome. And then beyond that, a game that recently fully released on Steam called Hypercharged. Stupid fun. It's just a tower defense game. It's real silly. Basically, you just play as a bunch of action figures, and all the enemies are different kinds of toys, like zombie figures and Beyblades for whatever fucking reason, and little rubber UFO toys, even rubber balls.
I love
which
the
was fucking weird. It was a weird one. And it's fun. It's a real fun game. I hope more people check it out at some point. But that's all I've been playing.
Yeah, so kind of bouncing off of that, Mac and I have been playing a lot of Valorant, which I'm surprised I liked as much as I did. I was kind of crapping on that game real early, and I'm like, oh, it's just another Counter-Strike game, and I don't really... I played a little bit of Counter-Strike, and I don't really like it. But Valorant kind of changes the formula a little bit. It's really fun, especially when you're in a 5-stack of people who are just half taking the game serious. It's like any other multiplayer game. It's so much more fun when it's with friends.
Yeah.
What else have I been playing? I've got back into Bloodstained. I've restarted that today. I have a deep, affectionate love for Metroidvania-style games. And so that was one I had kept an eye on long before it came out. I was following and following and following. Haven't finished it because I'm a terrible human being. Let's see, what else have I been playing? I had a good long session the other day on Pillars of Eternity, which is just getting better and better the more I play it. And then I realized that I started to play Bastion. Have you guys played Bastion before?
Nope.
So it's I know it's like an action RPG type of game. It's top down. You have your dude, and I don't even know how to describe it, man, but the music is beautiful. There's this narrator that talks of the story about what's going on as it's happening, and his voice is like, it's up there with Morgan Freeman voice. Like, this dude is perfect for narration.
If it ain't Deckard Cain, I don't want it.
I played like 10 minutes of it earlier, and I was like, why am I playing this alone? This needs to be on stream. So I'm saving that for once I finish Pillars of Eternity. And if I end up playing Pillars of Eternity 2 right after, then it's going to have to go on the shelf for a little bit longer. But I may just have to incorporate different games on different days to fill my necessity to play.
The best way to do it.
Yeah. I know that if I don't stick to a game, I will jump ship.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, I have to really like sit down and like, okay, I'm playing this game now.
Yeah, I ran into that problem recently. Yeah, I'm like, I was trying to split up Doom and Ori 2. It was a no-go. I'm like, you know what, just stick to one. I gotta play Mario Kart on Tuesdays, regardless. People show up for that, like players. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna focus on one game and just finish that, and then because I'll do that too. I'll start jumping around.
Yeah, I'm notorious for that.
The Last of Us 2 and God of War, I had to stick to it. I couldn't jump to something else.
I have well over a dozen games that I started and that I love and I never finished. Because that's just
Darksiders?
Huh? No.
You didn't finish Darksiders?
Never finished Darksiders. I never went back to it after. So I was streaming Darksiders a while back. My cat turned off my computer in the middle of my stream.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
It was great. There was just this moment where I'm playing, and then all of a sudden I go, oh! And then stream ends.
Oh no!
Yes.
Just gone.
Like, thanks for watching. Angered Egg is offline.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody clipped that.
I have the clip
Check out
somewhere.
his recent video.
Okay.
I'll send it to you guys later so you guys can enjoy that clip. And then it wasn't too long after that I had to completely wipe my hard drive. I had to like reinstall Windows and everything, so I lost like all of my save files. So that's another reason why I have games that I haven't gone back and finished, because I'm just like, well, now I have to start over, and now I'm grumpy. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been up to. So normally this is where we would go into game news, but since it's a dead news cycle, I won't even call it a slow news cycle.
I have
Pretty
one.
dead because of.
Oh.
Wait.
Corey does have something he wants to talk about before
Light
we go.
at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Go
So,
for it.
The Last of Us 2 has a release
Yes,
date now.
that's right. I saw that.
Wait, what?
Do you know why?
Wait, say that again?
The Last of Us 2 has a release date now.
Yeah, because some people
June.
leaked part of it online.
Yes, no, not part of it. Like 90% of the spoilers.
Oh, I didn't know it was that much.
Damn.
Yeah, the Naughty Dog dev
Goes directly to Google.
Yeah, right.
Fuck this, and sent it up there.
Yeah, so I guess they were having some argument issues, some creative differences, right? And that's why it had been postponed indefinitely.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I didn't know that much of it had been spoiled.
Apparently, it's pretty woke.
Do you know do you have the date for the
I don't know
release date?
exactly. I don't know
date?
exactly what, but I have a hunch. It's got to do with Ellie's,
Spoiler
sexuality.
finger. Spoiler finger.
I don't know for sure. I didn't look it up.
May 29th.
Of this year?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they're pushing it right out.
Oh, I thought it was in June.
Oh wow, that's less than a month.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
All right.
Oh, I do have one quick thing I want to mention. For those of you who are into the strategy, tactical style RPG games like Baldur's Gate and stuff, the Pathfinder sequel, their alpha started today. I don't know the name of the game offhand, but it's developed by Owlcat. They started because they finally got their backer portal set up and everything. Their alpha started today. Super excited. I'm not playing it. I'm not downloading the alpha. I want to wait for the release so that I can stream everything, because I'm not allowed to talk about anything in alpha.
Yeah.
But the thing is with alphas, they can last for a long time.
They've already said they're only lasting for 3 weeks. Their alpha is going to be 3 weeks. That's it.
Okay, but look at 7 Days to Die.
That game is still, well, that's different. That's a multiplayer game that they don't want to take out of beta.
It's an alpha.
That they don't want to take out of alpha. This is a
That's
single
kind of
player
depressing.
game that
It
they're
took
working
the
on.
Forest like
Yeah, no, but
6 years to get
they've
it out.
stated that their alpha's only lasting 3 weeks. Their beta's going to come out like a month before the game drops, which isn't until next year. So I don't want to play any of it. I don't want to spoil any of it for myself, because I won't be able to talk about it. So if I play it, what's the point of being on this platform and I can't talk about it yet? So I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna save it, and then I'm gonna savor every little drop of it. So
All right.
moving on. As I was saying, since it's a mostly dead news cycle, we decided we're gonna do something a little bit different today. So what we're gonna do is we've got some brackets set up. We picked out some genres. We have 2 brackets set up. We might only get to talk about one today. The first one is RPG games. It's in role-playing games. And the second one,
games. Yeah.
yeah,
Role-playing
role-playing games.
Yeah.
And then the second one is shooters. And so we've each thrown 4 games into the bracket, randomly generated into matchups. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about these matchups, go head-to-head with each other, and one of these games is going to come out the victor. I just want to say, this is not a representation of what we think are the best games in these genres. These are more so what
Definitely
we
not.
prefer. Yeah, which kind of leads me to, so just a quick, I will show what the brackets are real fast, so we've got, what happened? Something showed up and I want it gone. So we've got for our RPG bracket. Yeah. And then our shooter bracket, gonna switch over here. So like I said, these are not representations of what we think are the best games in these genres. And I want to go into, before we start talking about the brackets themselves, what our thought process was when we were picking games. Because I know we all had different ways of going into it. So like myself, I wanted to choose different types of the overall genres, because like RPGs have so many different variations. You have your Japanese, your Western, strategy, tactic, looter shooters. Like there's just so many different styles. So I wanted to, with RPGs and with shooters, I wanted to pick one from every different style that I liked. And that's kind of where some of mine came from. What about you, Corey? How did you come up with yours?
Okay, so half of it, honestly, was Google.
Glorious.
My friend Google.
The other half was, I was at work when I like thought of the list and whatnot, and the other half was like games I thoroughly enjoyed. So like I've always been a fan of the God of War series, Devil May Cry. I really enjoyed The Last of Us. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Mac, my favorite of all of the reasonings.
Yeah, I just went top of the head shitter post mode.
My man went.
I picked games probably no one knows about, and then just fucking shoved them into a list. And then even in the brackets, Warframe's on there twice for both sides.
Yeah, so he's got Warframe in RPG and in shooter.
I didn't know you could do that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's both.
technically. I have Borderlands. I have Borderlands 2 on RPG, and you have Borderlands 1 in shooter.
True.
So what about you, Lancer?
I mean, he could have memed us and just like put, Warframe, Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and just like just put them in RPG and shooter.
Yeah, he could have done the same
could've-
games, all four in both.
Yeah, he could have totally memed us with that. Oh.
Oh, I would have yelled at him. I would have been like, dude, what the hell?
So
In that case, I should have chosen SpongeBob SquarePants.
Right? That's an RPG.
So, admittedly, I used a little bit of Google myself because some of these games I've kind of lost the time. I'm pretty old, so excuse me. Yeah, I
Still
lost. Nah, I feel every bit my age this year, especially. But so yeah, so I
judgment.
basically just I just went down the list and I just went down the list of like RPG games and shooter games that I enjoyed, and then I went and I sent you guys the list, and then you sent me back a list. I'm like, oh hell yeah, this is sweet. Now I could just like cross out games that I know, like, okay, I don't want to have two of these. I wanted to kind of mix it up. I didn't want to have like a whole bunch of Final Fantasies or a whole bunch of Call of Duties, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd just kind of dance around, like I said, I'd just dance around your guys' list and then pick my four. So I was at work, and I was just like, all right, and just started, basically just scratching them out and got my my 4 and 4.
This man went probably more in depth than any of us did.
Hey, I wanted to be prepared. I mean,
Oh, well, I mean,
scale from me to DarkLancer81.
I mean, like, this is my first podcast. Like, I've never been on a podcast ever. So, like,
we're glad to be your first.
yes,
This is a day of firsts for all of us.
yes, the pleasure is all mine. So, but yeah, no, I wanted to make sure, I was like, let me be as prepared as I could possibly be with the amount of time that I have. So,
Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump into our first matchup on the RPG bracket. Coming down to Fallout 4 and Devil May Cry 5. That's a rough one.
I would say for me, I'd vote for Devil May Cry 5 just because one, I'm sorry, Fallout 4 is garbage. Its release was crap. The bugs crap.
Oh,
I don't know what's
it's a
going on
Bethesda
with the-
game, man. That's part
Yeah, I
of the
don't
fun.
know what the hell has happened with Bethesda lately.
That's
Fucking
part of the fun, though. That's why they
CEOs
never.
just shoving coke in their nose and programming games.
Okay, so on one side of the house, you have Fallout 4 with the amount of mods they have for that.
Oh yeah, it's
I
insane.
mean, come on, the fucking fat boy that shoots teddy bears, and when you shoot it, yells John
Well,
Cena.
hold on. That point is mute because there are ways to. People have already modded Devil May Cry 5 to shit.
Have
Really?
they?
Yeah,
I have not
visuals,
seen
everything.
this.
Yeah, there's whole sites with sections just dedicated to all these games, and there are already hundreds of mods for DMC 5. There's
Interesting.
actually a co-op mod for it out.
Ugh, that sounds gross. I don't like that.
Like-
Yeah.
If you ever wanted to see Dante use two swords, check out this mod. It's like two swords at the same time.
Hey guys, you ever want to see Dante in a Speedo?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I-
So you can't say
Hammock.
Fallout 4's mods are its strength in this one because unfortunately DMC5 has that as well.
I think my issue is when I think about Fallout 4 is I sit here and I compare it to the other ones, and in comparison, it's not a good game. The story's not that good. The gameplay is, like it's not.
It was a basic story.
Yeah, the story is pretty basic, especially in the terms of like Fallout. Fallout has had some great stories.
I
Like,
need to find my son.
yeah, the plot twist you can see from a mile away, right? Like, for those of you who don't know, spoiler alert, your
For
son is
games
the main
that-
bad guy. You've been asleep in cryogenesis for like 50 years, and now your son is the bad guy. Like, it's
Fucking
so
so bad.
obvious leading up to it. But as a standalone game, like, there's a lot of customization for your weapons. It's set in Boston, which is one of my favorite towns. You get to run around. I mean, I don't know how well you can see it, but that's a part of a blueprint for Fenway Park. Like, I'm a huge Red Sox fan. I'm a huge fan of the historical significance that Boston has, and it was so cool to run around and see all
Wasn't
that
that
stuff.
stadium in the game too?
Yes, you could go to
Yeah,
the
it
game.
was,
You
it was
could go
one
to
of the
you could
Diamond
go to
City.
Fenway, and I loved it. And DMC5, I haven't finished it, but it has a great story. It's Devil May Cry, so it's got all that wonderful hack and slash.
Came out with
DMC5
great memes about
wrapped
how
up the
game
story.
reviewers can't play worth a shit. The music's too low.
DMC5 wrapped up the story very well. Like it filled up all the fucking like the holes that 4 left,
Yeah,
and it
story-wise,
left room to start another.
I need to go back and finish it.
Yeah, I finished that shit in like a week.
Putting Devil May Cry 5 up against some of the great, like 3, you put Devil May Cry 5 into a damn buzzsaw with that one. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean it's like a lot of games can't stand up to Devil May Cry 3, which is a fantastic game.
I mean that came out early 2000s, and it still holds weight to this day.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it still holds up easily. I'm gonna go, but then you got to think about like when they try to reboot Devil May Cry and how bad that was.
Oh god.
Oh, they
DMC.
recovered so nicely though. They
DMC
recovered
was like-
so nicely.
Crackhead
Yeah.
emo Dante.
Yeah,
Yeah, and and the era that we're gaming in now compared to Devil May Cry 3's era, it's two totally different landscapes now.
Yeah.
At least with Devil May Cry, we got a pretty solid, playable, complete game. And if you want to swing both Dante's swords around, you can do that in PC mods. You probably couldn't do that in 3. So you have some customization there, but with it's for me. I'm gonna go with. I don't know, man. It's because see, I never played Fallout 4, but I played 3. Played 3, and I enjoyed 3.
3 was good. New Vegas is my favorite.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 was
Not to say
release.
it was if in comparison it's crap, but as a standalone game, Fallout 4 is mediocre at best in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going Devil May Cry as well here.
Yeah, I probably
Yeah.
have to go there too, just because I never played Fallout 4, and what I saw of Fallout 4 was a lot of like what you mentioned there earlier, a lot of buggy stuff, a lot of weird stuff happening.
I mean that's Bethesda though.
Yeah.
That's part of the charm of playing a Bethesda game is all those stupid bugs that they never patch out because they know
Yeah.
their
Well-
fans love them.
Well,
I mean, think about it. In the past 10 years, Skyrim is the most released game.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's still all super buggy and people friggin' love it.
Yeah.
well, so here's I'm gonna give Bethesda a little a little.
While you do that, I'm gonna update
little break.
the bracket because I think we're all in agreement that
Oh,
DMC
yeah,
5 moves
Oh,
on.
yeah, no, just a
Alright.
quick.
Yeah, go
just a
for it. I'm
quick
gonna
point,
update the bracket.
win.
Yeah, just a quick point. Was it Doom 2016 though?
Oh, that game.
I mean, that was a solid game. But then again, though, you had was it id, right? The
id
guys that
Software.
Yeah, you had like a specialized team working on it, and I don't think they were gonna let that fail. So
Yeah, because it's Doom. If they did,
yeah.
Ooh.
So I guess
Bethesda would've been
outside, yeah. So I guess outside of Doom, yeah, Bethesda is Bethesda, yeah. Yeah, no, you guys are right. yeah, I'm like, let me retract my statements.
Can we just invent a new word for Bethesda? Just mix Bethesda and pathetic, and just call them pathetic. Any game that comes out involving RPGs is they're getting a little less creative every year.
Their next game has to freaking sell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
They're done.
So moving on, our next matchup in the bracket, we have Dragon Nest against Final Fantasy VI. I think Mac is the only one here who knows what Dragon Nest is.
So Dragon Nest is a dungeon running RPG, and it's heavy on skill-based combo systems. Like, it's not turn-based, none of that. You have to dodge, you have to fucking do everything you can to survive, manage your loadouts, all that shit. It is a fucking oldie. It used to belong to Nexon, but then went to
I'm looking at pictures of it right now.
Completely different publisher.
By the looks of it, you could play it on mobile.
Yeah, it is on mobile.
Interesting.
It has a mobile app. That is how fucking old that game is.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a fucking golden oldie of a fucking game. I played it all throughout high school with friends for the longest time. I don't even have that account anymore because it's fucking gone since the publisher switch. But it's a fun game. If you just want to play basically just dungeon raids with friends, it's a good game to go into. Unfortunately, I have nothing to say about Final Fantasy because I don't like them or play them.
Yeah, I think even if I knew what Dragon Nest was offhand, it's going up against one of the best in the Final Fantasy franchise, and there's not much. I mean, there's maybe 2 games on this list that it loses to.
Yeah.
If not, probably the best, in my opinion, the best Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
I just felt like setting up Goku versus Krillin matches.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's other like 6 is one of those 2 or 3 Final Fantasy games where everyone argues over which one is the best, but it really comes down to personal preference. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played much of 6.
Yeah, I mean, 6 is where I started. 6 is, I mean. Okay, so you ever play I'm sure you guys played plenty of RPGs where you're like, there's that one character that you just like, or 1 or 2 characters or maybe most of the cast you don't give a shit about, right?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VI does a very good job of building up every single character. Admittedly, there's probably 1, but there's like 16 characters in that game, right? And you give a shit about all of them, and they all have their own story arc. Midway through the game, the bad guy wins, destroys the world. So then, like the second half of the game, you're playing in the world of ruin and trying to, basically
I love
get the party back together. And some of them they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm done with all that, and things happen and they get the party back together and band up. And I mean, you could actually go to Kefka's Tower. I think as long as you have 3. If you have 3 characters, you can actually you can go in there and they'll split you in 3 teams, and you can actually go there and finish the game early, or you can go around the whole world and pick up everybody, and they they
cool.
continue. Yeah, it's, and the magic system, it's very it's very strategic and all that, and this is like when summoning. It wasn't quite where 7 brought the summoning to, but it was kind of, you could see it was kind of getting there at that point, and then you could learn spells from all the magicites, all that. It's a fantastic game. I mean, it's I would play that before I play. I'd play that 10 times over before I play incomplete Final Fantasy VII remake, like
Mhm.
easily. Yeah,
We
I
don't.
just.
We're not talking about that. Final Fantasy VII isn't on this list from me because of that remake. I haven't played it
Yeah.
yet, but the fact that it came out incomplete just rubs me the wrong way.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of
me too.
asinine. To
Corey,
release
anything you
a game
wanna-
that's already been out for so long like that?
Anything you want to add to Final Fantasy VI, or is this just kind of a beating a dead horse?
Yeah, I haven't played either one.
All right, unanimous vote. Final Fantasy wins.
All right, we're gonna go ahead update this, and I'll talk about what our next matchup is. And this one and our next one both have things from Mac that are gonna require a little bit of explanation, I believe.
I actually think you would like the game I put in that one. But we'll talk about it once we get once you give the round start.
Yeah. Oh crap. Hold on. I think we're having some slight. Look, it wouldn't be me
We are
if
having
things
technical difficulty.
if things didn't work wonky. It's part of my
It
charm.
really wouldn't.
It really is. I swear.
Yeah, we could edit out. We could edit that out later. No problem.
Just random little jump cuts. So our next matchup, Tales of Vesperia against Dungeon Fighter, which with this crew, I'm surprised that this is the only Tales of game in the bracket.
Okay. So to explain Dungeon Fighter, it is another golden oldie RPG that you can play with friends. It is a beat 'em up RPG where you go from room to room in a massive scale dungeon that's randomly generated every time and beat the shit out of baddies, just comboing the fuck out of them. And it's in the style of old school fighting games, kind of like Street Fighter-esque looking game.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's a popular game. It's really fucking fun. It's insane. There's so many classes out, and they're still coming out with more and more as they go. I'm surprised it's still been running for this long, because I don't even think Dragon Nest has that many players anymore compared to Dungeon Fighter. Fuck no, but it's a good game.
It
It's
looks like an
fun.
old school like side scroll beat 'em up type of game.
Yeah, it's insanely fun. It's so good.
And I'm not
It
gonna
holds
lie,
up.
I haven't played Tales of Vesperia.
I have not
so-
either. I'm gonna do some googling.
So I guess I'll take the lead on this one too. Have any of you guys played any of the Tales games?
I've played a couple. I haven't
Yeah.
finished any, but I've played a couple. Yeah.
So which ones?
Um,
Corey, I saw you shaking your head there. Like,
Vesperia.
You did play Vesperia.
Played
Okay,
that one.
yes. I'm not alone on this one. Okay.
Hysteria.
Hold on, I have to
Was,
look. I'm not gonna lie.
When it came on PS4. We have
I've played Zestiria.
Zestiria.
I played a little bit of
Auxilia.
Zestiria.
that was another one.
That one was, it was okay.
Yeah,
And
Zestiria's like me.
Symphonia. I played a little bit of Symphonia.
I didn't do Symphonia.
See, I should have put Tales of Symphonia on this list.
I know that
'cause-
that game's phenomenal.
Yes, critically, that game is better than Tales of Vesperia. The reason why I put Tales of Vesperia on it is because I put a lot of hours into that game. The combo system it's insane. Like, it's like
It's
what's the
very
best way?
similar. The Tales of series has a combo system very similar to Star Ocean, right? If I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
Oh, I didn't put that on there. I didn't put any Star
Oh,
Ocean.
I forgot about Star Ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I forgot
welcome.
about that one too. Yeah, it was till the end of time. That was a good one. That was a really good one. But yeah, so basically it's just, you could chain your combos and you can start the combos over, and you had to, manage your TP, I guess, your technical points.
Stamina gauge, essentially.
Basically. And then you had like combination attacks, and you could, finishers, big finishers for the combos you're doing. At a certain point, the game gets insane. You can do pretty much infinite combos if you know what you're doing. If you know how to chain your stuff together, you can do infinite combos. The characters are very charming, and like there's a lot of like the story is like, it's a very serious story, but the game does kind of have a little bit of comic relief here and there. But most of the characters are lovable as well. So, and the back, like the actual scenes, the scenery, like the backgrounds, everything just looks great. It's was it cell shaded, right? It's a cell shaded game. So
Yeah.
that automatically it holds up graphically because of the cell shaded.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason why I didn't put Tales of Symphonia on here is because I only played that one once, and I only played it like one playthrough, and it was further back than Tales of Vesperia. But I remember Tales of Vesperia very fondly. I actually played it recently when they they did a HD remaster or whatever
on the Switch, right?
They did it, yeah, it was on the Switch. I'm pretty sure it was on the PS4 and Xbox One. Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I remember of the Tales of games, they have the combo system usually flows very nicely, and the story and characters are super Japanese. Like, it really holds to that JRPG standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was looking at up here, I was trying to figure out what's collector's edition is up there, and it's Zestiria, Exilia, and Exilia 2.
Damn, son. Flexing.
The Exilia and Exilia 2 came from Laura.
Well, all right.
So
and I got her Zestiria.
Guess we cast our votes here.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to Dungeon Fighter for me because it is really
sure
good. It genuinely, this one was the least memey of the choices that I picked.
I'm gonna put that on my
I'm
gonna have to put that on my to play list.
Definitely play it with friends. It is so fun. It's on Steam.
We should have a night where we all get together and play this nonsense.
It's a great beat 'em up, man. There's literally a class I think you would like, Egg, just because it's funny to look at. It's a priest with a giant cross that he uses to beat the shit out of anything.
I love everything about that.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And then he can class change into a straight up like monk-esque fighter where he just decks the shit out of you with like holy energy. It's so good.
You said it was multiplayer too?
Yes, it is.
On Steam?
Yeah.
I would look it up too.
Yeah.
It'll be a quick download for the client, and then you have to do a whole client patch. But that's like the only bad thing about it.
One for Dungeon Fighter. Lancer, what are you going with here?
I'm sorry, I don't know enough about Dungeon Fighter to vote against Tail. No, I mean not to like. I'm not trying to down the game. You know, if
it sounds interesting, I definitely want to try it.
Yeah, I mean it's on my playlist, my to playlist here. But yeah, I mean I have to go with Tails for right now. I mean maybe if we do this like after I play Dungeon Fighter, I might
come back, kid.
Wait, we have to go back. We have to redo the bracket. I fucked up.
It's like we got to go back. What? It's like
Dungeon Fighter slaps, bro.
Corey, what about yourself?
Tales of.
Yeah.
Because I don't know Dungeon Fighter.
I haven't played Vesperia. I haven't played Dungeon Fighter. They both sound like games that I would really enjoy, but I know the Tales of series a little better than I know Dungeon Fighter, so I'm gonna have to go with that one too.
Dang.
Sorry, Mac.
Nah, it's all right. I knew what I was doing when I was being a fucking shitlord.
On the bright side,
out of all of them, that one is the most serious one.
we're definitely gonna have to look into it. But it's okay because we're going into a matchup where you have an actual serious entry.
Oh yeah, Warframe and fucking Mabinogi. So
hits the Google engine.
Yeah.
So
go for it.
Let me know when round starts.
Yeah, so we have Warframe up against Mabinogi, which I'm assuming is another MMO.
Mabinogi, if you like Tales, the Tales of Vesperia game, you'll definitely kind of be okay with Mabinogi. It's more of a, I guess, it kind of gets heavy inspiration from WoW in the sense of how it plays, but back when I started playing it, which was like in middle school, it used to be a fairly simple, just explorative RPG with all the classic JRPG tropes of like powering up and fighting some great world-ending darkness and all that shit. And then over the years, it got a lot more complicated. I tried to go back into it, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on anymore. I could choose so many different classes that weren't there. I could multi-class some other crazy shit. Like I used to play a class called Fighter, and I would play the giant race, and it would just be this giant motherfucker drop kicking a tiny spider across the room like a fucking cannonball, just gone. Or I'd take a skeleton and fucking suplex it into the dirt. It's all crazy stuff, but it's a fun game. It's definitely one you'd have to party up with friends and do a lot of research to play because it's kind of nuts. And then there's Warframe on the other side. That game I have been playing since fucking beta. I hate myself because of it. I quit it recently because I got it's a grind game. It's hard grind. Like you have to dedicate time, sometimes even money to that fucking game. And I have a dojo that I gave to my friend before I quit that is worth I think $2,000. It is a massive clan dojo with like everything you could think of just shoved into it for players that join us. Well, him now because I'm done. I got so tired after finding out this next update to the story you have to farm for again, and I couldn't do it. I was just like, I'm sorry, you guys are insane, and I am not keeping up with this fucking grind anymore.
Yeah.
It's a great game though. It's a fucking phenomenally designed game. Every single Warframe is unique in its own right. The factions that you fight are amazing. Like the Grineer used to be a version of humans that just clone the same guy over and over and over again to the point where he's like this diseased inbred species now. And it's just fucking weird. And he's like, they're all assholes. Except for Steel Meridian. They're like the cool ones. And then you have the Corpus, the money
You don't have to go
hungry,
into every. We can get this man will talk for a while on this.
Nuts. It's
I have to cut in and be like, we don't have to go into everything.
But it's a good game, but too much grind. Too much grind.
I played a little bit. I enjoyed it from what I played of it. I don't have that kind of time to grind out a whole ass MMO, but
fuck no. If you don't have the patience for that game,
it's really cool to be Space Ninja Pirate.
Yeah, I tried it a couple times and I'm just like, this is too much.
It has the same
win pretty much.
Yeah, it has the same issue that I feel like I have with Destiny, where it doesn't something about it just feels off. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it plays nicely, but there's just something about the game that just doesn't click with me. I don't know. I've never been big into sci-fi. Like everybody's all, I don't know. Sci-fi's never been my thing. More of the regular fantasy, old school fantasy type of stuff.
For this one, I think my vote would definitely go with Mabinogi, just because it's about the only JRPG I can enjoy. But I'll get called a weeb for enjoying it because it is an extremely weeby game. And over the years,
I think it's a good
some
thing
of the
there's
older
a lot of
players
weebs here.
Yeah. Over the years, some of the older players in that game have become some of the most elitist scum about it. I've been here since the beginning. You know, those kind of players. But it's a fun game. It's another one that is good to play with friends, but will definitely take a lot of research to get into.
All right, so
if I had to, I've only seen people play Warframe.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen streams, and based on what Chomp says about Mabinogi, I'd probably pick that here too, just because it's you said it's kind of similar to Tales and it's kind of has that JRPG. So if you're recommending a JRPG to me, I'll probably I'll probably play it. So yeah, I'm gonna pick that one.
Corey, what about yourself?
I'll have to pick Warframe because I've never played the other one.
Mabinogi.
Yeah.
I think I played a little bit of Warframe, and like I said, there's just something about it that just feels off to me, and I'm not really sure what it is, and I'm not. I ask me 10 years ago, and I would have been like, hell yeah, let's grind out an MMO. Ask me tomorrow, no.
Sorry.
I'll grind out a solo game. I'll do every single side quest in a solo game, but in a big ass
Do a
MMO,
loader shooter.
I'll pass. I think I'm gonna go with Mabinogi on this one.
Yeah.
So that's 3 for Mabinogi, 1 for Warframe.
Yeah.
Definitely not the one I expected to move on.
Right.
It's a Mabinogi is a genuinely good game. Dude, the ways you can get EXP in that game are fucking nuts. You can just get EXP from
Whoop.
fishing, cooking, exploring. You can do fucking what is it?
Forgot to switch over as I did this.
Archaeological shit in that game. You can look for fossils and shit.
Looking for
No.
fossils. Okay.
Is
So
this Animal Crossing?
yeah, right. On to our next matchup. We have God of War, which I believe Corey, you said the new one, right? The
Yeah.
the PS4 God of War.
Straight God of War.
Dad of
Dead
War.
War.
Dad of War. Against Borderlands 2.
Boy.
This is a good matchup. I like this one. This is one that we could probably talk about for a while.
Yeah.
So I will, before we start our discussion, I will admit I have not played the newest God of War.
Ooh.
But I've
Game of the year
heard nothing.
2018.
Yeah, I have heard nothing but good things about this game though.
Oh yeah. It's amazing. It's actually, so God of War 3 was actually my favorite. And this one came out. This blows it out of the fucking water.
Yeah, I love the whole series. I love what they did transitioning into the Nordic.
gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only downside
And
to
it's a
it was you didn't
continuation.
get to
Nuts.
kill gods like you would normally. They just built up the story between father and son, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because the next one they're gonna come after fucking
Dad of War.
Thor, dude. It's gonna be fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And Odin, I can't wait to see that.
I haven't. I've watched some of it when it came out. That first boss fight, I forget who he fights.
Fucking
He gets into like that big old fisticuff, and it's got those really cool
Yeah.
cutscenes.
There's something with a B.
Yeah.
A crazy fucking crackhead god guy who can't feel
Yeah.
pain.
Oh, hold on,
So
I'm
he-
about to look it up.
Baldur.
Baldur
Yeah, I was about to say that.
was probably one of the coolest fights I've seen in the entire
Just
series.
throwing each other across. the
Yeah,
fucking-
like it was so well done. Like it
And
was
you have
just,
like 3 fucking fights with him
Yeah,
Spoiler
I
alert.
gotta say, the scene where he's like, it's the first fight, just slamming him into a rock. I physically felt everything. I was like, oh fuck.
too. Yeah, and
is
actually
so
God
bad.
of War 3 was one of my favorites because of the Poseidon fight
Oh yeah,
where
big
you're like
seahorse.
no, you have the view of Poseidon as Kratos is beating the fuck out of you.
Oh yeah, that shit.
that
It's terrifying. when he
POV
gouges the
cam.
eyes out.
Yeah.
The thumbs. I still remember the thumbs.
But I gotta switch over to Borderlands 2. It took everything that the first one did and made it better. And I have good reason why I went with this in the RPG bracket instead of the shooter bracket. Handsome Jack, easily best video game villain of all time.
Oh yeah, motivations are great.
So well written, so well done. Who was that? Troy Baker did him, right?
I
think so.
believe so.
I'm pretty sure that was Troy Baker. Probably some of Troy Baker's best work. I mean, it was just... The story was what really held me for Borderlands 2.
It was Damon Clark.
Oh, it was Damon Clark?
He was the voice of Cell for Dragon Ball Z.
I see. Troy Baker does so much stuff. I just automatically assume any voice I like is Troy Baker. He does so much shit.
Oh, this guy's pretty good too.
Yeah, no, it was phenomenal. Everything about this game's story was done so well. They took all of the great things about Borderlands, made it better. This was like the big where like so in the first Borderlands, I know if you've played it, you know that all the different gun companies, but there was never any real big difference in the first one between the different companies' guns. And then this one, it was like, all right, cool. Jacobs are old-timey fucking revolver-type guns. And then you have the Maliwan, which are all the elemental type stuff. This is a tough choice, I'm not going to lie.
Unfortunately for me, the Borderlands series has very much just lived out its welcome in my heart. I still have a big place for Borderlands 1 because that's the game I sat down on a couch with friends and just jammed out to on an Xbox. But it got slower after 2, like real slow with the writing and everything, and then the third one solidified that for me forever because I just see that game going nowhere anymore. Franchise-wise, it's a great franchise, but I wish they would have gone the route they did with Borderlands 2. I think it's because they got a new writing team or whatever. That 3 was lackluster in the story.
Yeah, I heard 3 had some really weird writing too.
Yeah,
it's
weird
rough
writing,
to get through
weird
sometimes.
Animation. It's so weird. And then it was a buggy. There was actually a part of the game I couldn't even pass. But I would say I'd go with God of War just because thematically I love everything about the Nordic gods. The fact that the classic big man Kratos just dadding his way through the whole thing, straight dad bod his son.
Boy.
It's fucking amazing. I love the twist where his son is like apparently some variation of Loki, which is just phenomenal because his mom was a giant. That's just like hinted at little by little. They don't just shove it in your face. It's just like, hey. And also the aspect of Kratos did a giant.
It's like, yeah, how does that work?
Like, this man has conquered some shit, but damn.
the logistics of it doesn't quite add up.
It's not supposed to. That's the point.
He pulled a Danny DeVito.
I love that they somehow.
Oh, whoops! Oh, I dropped my
from my magnum dong. Yeah.
Right.
It's an amazing story. I will go with God of War on that one.
Lancer?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mac on that one too. Just the mythology and everything that goes into God of War and the whole franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is one game, but you kind of have to take all that as a whole. I even played the handheld ones, and they're all fantastic.
Yeah,
I've never played a bad God of War game.
Yeah,
I've never played a bad one. I mean, I've loved Borderlands 1 and 2. I played 1 the most with friends online, beat Cromerex when it was like a DLC, and we had like this epic moment,
Never beat Cromerex.
Yeah, it was like...
I played hours and hours and hours, never beat him.
Yeah, it was like, it was a squad of 4, and we're playing online, and we played in, like, I think it was like 2 or 3 sessions, and we finally took him down. Then after that, we started farming him. So I take him down once, and I was like, all right, it's pretty easy after that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with God of War, just a full entire package. Some of Borderlands elements do seem like it's like, okay, they're just throwing this stuff in there so you have stuff to do. It feels like filler at times.
Yeah.
If you're not, so so for that reason, I'll go with God of War here.
Gory? I think I know your
Obviously, I'm gonna go with God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah. God of War wins every time on that one.
Yeah, it's
your all time. So.
I mean, it's not a traditional RPG. Like, it's not an RPG in the traditional.
Yeah, it's a much more Western style.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
they do really well for what they got.
Yeah,
it has RPG elements, so it works.
It's the story is even like as a standalone game, not even taking the whole series into it. It's so well done. The way they weave
screaming angry Spartan guy.
Yeah, the way they weave mythology, they weave Kratos into this already well built mythology. It's not even like they're writing new stories. They're taking these old things and making it new and weaving new things into it. I love Borderlands. Borderlands 2 was I put Borderlands 2 on this list, but I think up against what it's up against, I definitely would have to go with God of War. I love Borderlands for what it is. It's overly self-aware at times, but the nonsense, it's, you get a group of friends together who can enjoy the type of fun, and it's just a shit show. Like, I actually got my wife doesn't play a whole lot of games. She's very specific. Like, she likes to play the games that she likes. And I got her to play Borderlands, and we're driving around, and she's like, "Stop the car! We have to kill these people." it's even just me and my wife. It's so much fun. But yeah, I think here in this scenario, we're gonna have to go with God of War.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for when the next one comes out.
Dad of War.
I can't wait for that shit.
And
'Cause I want to see Odin get his other eye torn out.
well, you know how in the previous God of Wars you kill the god, you gain a weapon, right?
Yeah.
Didn't really happen in this one.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
waiting for
okay
the
with
next
that, to be honest.
I'm just waiting for the next one when you kill Thor. You get the hammer.
Gotta get the
I am
hammer. Man.
worthy. Automatically worthy. Either that or he's
Just
just strong
fucking
enough to
that's
pick it
it,
up
just-
regardless.
You're
Alright.
shooting lightning out your dick. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
right? All right.
And he gets
so,
another giant.
on to our next matchup. We have Castlevania Symphony of the Night against Last of Us. This is another really good matchup.
I'm automatically with Castlevania though. I'm sorry. I think The Last of Us is such an overrated series. I will explain that fairly. I love the visuals. I love that they tried to more focus on the story of the survivors, but me with my nerd science brain, I was so fascinated with what they did with the zombies because it's not just, generic brain zombies. It's this weird, like, mutated fungus that warps their face and everything and, like, takes over their brain completely. And I was like, that's amazing. It looks so cool, but they went nowhere with it, and it disappointed me. And then I didn't feel anything for the father losing his daughter story whatsoever because it just happened so fast.
Yeah, there was no build up. It was like really abrupt.
Lightning quick, just bam, she's dead, bye. And then he attaches to some random girl that he just finds, and I was just like, okay, yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah, I got more mad with Ellie at the end
Yeah,
than I did than his actual daughter.
yeah. It's so overrated, and I know there's gonna be like a community that's gonna fucking hate me for saying it, but I'm sorry. The game is just too boring and doesn't go anywhere for me.
Here come the
Now
keyboard
Castlevania,
warriors.
I fucking love Castlevania way too much to ever vote against Castlevania. It's such a fucking insane series, and I love the adaptation on Netflix that just explains more of it.
Oh, yes.
I
love the
haven't watched
Belmonts.
all of it.
You need
Yes.
to. The Belmonts
Yes.
are fucking amazing. I will never hate it. It's all my heart's with Castlevania Symphony of the Night all the way.
Have you guys played Symphony of the Night?
Yes.
I have.
Corey, have you?
Oh boy.
You need to. You need to.
I am about to trigger every single one of you right now.
What?
I have not played a single Castlevania game.
That's, you know what? That's okay. Play this
Experience
one.
them.
Don't play any other one. Play this one.
Yes. Play this one. It starts here.
It starts here.
Starts
You can
here.
forget about the
Symphony
ones
of
on
the
the
Night.
NES
I
and the
haven't
Super
seen the
Nintendo.
Netflix
Yeah.
adaptation of it.
Start here. Don't like.
Yeah,
Don't start in the NES. I mean, go there if you're masochist, but
Yeah.
Start here.
If you want to enjoy a game, like the game has a very nice pacing to it.
Mm-hmm.
The voice
Like
acting.
Metroidvania game. Ooh.
Yeah, Metro. Yeah,
I'm going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah, the voice acting is dated. This was right before the time where voice acting was actually taken seriously in gaming industry.
Yeah, you can tell.
The voice
God,
acting's
I want it.
bad, but that aside, the game is fantastic. It is fantastic. Get yourself a guide as well because there's a little
lot.
There's a twist.
There's three different ways to beat the game.
Yeah. So yeah, when you think you beat the game the first time, read a guide just to be sure that you didn't miss a whole other half of the game. Just
this game really so this was the first when I said RPGs. So my all-time favorite game is Final Fantasy VII. Hate me all you want, don't care. This game holds a really deep. This was the first game I had to put on the list, right? So, as most of you guys, I started gaming at a young age. I started out watching my my stepdad play games. He had a PlayStation, and he had like 4 different games he would flop back and forth with. And before I even got to play this game, I would sit down and I was enamored. I was fucking stolen by this game. This is the very first game I've ever completed 100% to the T, every last thing. I could go back and play it right now and probably tell you where everything is. Like this, it's what got me into gaming, essentially. Like this was my gateway. It is such a well done game. It was the innovator for the Metroidvania style, which, for those of you who don't know what that is, think you have a map, right? The map is already predetermined. You can go anywhere you want, so long as you can reach it. There's a lot of backtracking, doubling back, going back and forth. Like, you'll find yourself in a place and you'll be like, okay, cool, there's some stuff here. Maybe this is it. And then you'll come back later on, now that you've gotten a couple skills, and it's a whole different game all of a sudden. And there's whole different parts you can get to and different things that you can do. You find yourself going back to, like, the entranceway after getting dozens of skills. And it's like, oh, there's stuff over here. There's more to explore here.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what is a man?
What a miserable pile of secrets.
Don't get me wrong, The Last of Us was a great game. It was phenomenal. The story of, what is it, Joel, right?
Yeah.
Their connection, I wasn't really, but like the progression and the realization of, I'm a child, but I need to grow the fuck up now. Like, how quickly things set up in her character progression. Ellie, right? Ellie?
Yeah.
It's been so long. I played it when it came out, and I haven't touched it since. Her character progression I love more than anything else in the game. Just simply that breaking of innocence of a child, because this is the world around you now.
Greg likes to take the innocence of children away from them.
Did you also play the DLC part of it?
I did not.
No.
Okay. So yeah, there's even more to her story than what's in the main game. They left out. I mean, if you're gonna go back and play,
Probably not. Anything. Not gonna lie.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave it out regardless. But,
I beat it once. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. There's even more to the story, and I mean, I enjoyed my time with Last of Us, but in my right mind, I can't vote against Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night is just too good. It's too good. It's again a buzzsaw. Here's another buzzsaw.
It was an innovator. It was more than just a great game. It was such an innovator for its time, and it still holds up to this day. You can go back and play it right now, which I think I might do this weekend.
Man, you know how many fucking games are inspired by it right now?
Yeah.
Like the indie games, Metroidvania games are fucking nuts.
They strayed from the path, and Castlevania failed.
Yep.
I mean, real quick,
you guys go. I'm gonna update the bracket.
The other games that came off of the Symphony of the Night are also really pretty damn good too. With the exception of, like, I forgot what it's called. I think it was like Harmony of Dissonance, or
I'm not gonna rewrite it because it already goes so far over, so I'm just gonna leave it as is.
So yeah, like all the handheld versions, if you get access,
they're
to them,
so good.
So good.
All the ones on the DS and the
Symphony of the Night pretty much does all the work, though. It's like, once you play that, you're like, oh, I need more of this. Mm-hmm. I need more of this style. I need to play more of this.
If you enjoy, like, I know if you've never played Castlevania and you like Metroid games, you'll love this. It's Metroid and fantasy.
I'm not gonna lie, if it was up against Metroid, though, I would pick Metroid.
See, my thing with sci-fi, I prefer Castlevania.
I've always loved the badass space bitch.
All right,
with super armor.
So our next one is gonna really hurt me because these are my two choices. So we have Final Fantasy X going up against Pathfinder Kingmaker. I have
nothing for this one.
I'm going to assume that you guys have not played Pathfinder Kingmaker.
Nope, not yet.
Have you guys played Baldur's Gate?
No.
Okay, so it's a tactical strategy style RPG where you make your character and then you pick up followers along the way. So like I was playing, you were watching a little bit of Pillars of Eternity the other day. It's similar to that style of game. But this one uses a different system. So this one is based on the Pathfinder tabletop game, which is an offshoot of the 3.5 edition of Dungeons and Dragons. The level of customization in this game is insane because it's using an already existing system. It just transferred everything over. It has something like 70 different classes you can choose. Because there's like 13 or 14 base classes, and then each base class has 4 different types within it that you can choose from. So you have your base class and then 3 other offshoots. So like you have your base monk style character, but then you also have like this type of monk can cast spells. This type of monk focuses on augmenting its fists so that they're specific damage types. So you have stuff like that with each different class, and there's so many different classes that you can choose from, and there's so much, and the story is really just like, you think it's just something so simple. It's like, hey, we need you to go in and clear out some bandits, and then all of a sudden you're a baron running an entire land while also going on with a story. So it's got almost like civilization building elements with it, along with the main RPG story. So this, saying it all out loud, I realize there's a lot, and it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, I put it on the to play list.
Yeah, if you enjoy those styles of games, you'd like Kingmaker because of how much there is.
So so this is part of a series, is Pathfinder?
It's the first game. They're working on a sequel right now. It's, I suggest it. If you have the brain for strategy, I would heavily suggest it, because it takes a lot. Because it's like sometimes you have to worry about the placement of your people. Like I've gone into fights where I'm like, okay, I have to strategize where I'm going to place my dudes before the fight starts, because the fights are in real time. But like you can pause it and like, okay, this person's going to use this skill, this person's going to do this person's going to cast this spell here. And you kind of have to like pause, unpause, pause, unpause, pause, unpause. You really have to think during fights. The exploration's really great. There's a lot of characters, like your companions that you get are all unique and interesting. The best, of course, is the halfling bard, or is she a gnome? I think she's a gnome bard. She's so awesome. She's just so ridiculous, and she like brings a little bit of lightheartedness to an otherwise dreary landscape. And every time you pick a lock with her, she goes, "Applause, please."
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. So all of that, and it's going up against Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah, sorry, I wanted to.
Okay.
There was a lot to explain.
It's like, yeah, he's building this game up pretty good,
And
you know,
Final Fantasy
enough for me to put on a to play list. But then he's like, okay, but it's going up against Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, I got really sad when I realized what it's going up against, because that's a solid game, man. That's just...
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Final Fantasy X on this one.
Yeah,
Like,
10.
I've replayed this game so many times. Like I even played like countless hours of Blitzball on that.
Yes.
Like getting the perfect team and just going right into it. Fuck Waka.
It's on my list of games to stream eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
Final
just so
Fantasy
good.
X. It's you mentioned earlier the 3 games that people
This is one of
argue
them.
about. This is one of them. This
Yeah.
is one of the 3 Final Fantasy games that
It's
they're
6, 7, and
interchangeable.
10.
6, 7, and 10 are
Yeah.
interchangeable 3. You can, a lot of people
And
pick
8.
10. 8? I mean, that's a conversation for another time. We'll talk about all the Final Fantasy games. I think 8, considering like everything that's happened, everything that's come out since, I'd say 8's in the top half. I wouldn't say it's at the top. 8 was fantastic though. I love 8. But it does. It's not 6, 7, or 10. Those three are the like de facto. Like they're up there. They're just like
That sphere grid is killer though, man. That thing
Yes.
is
God, yes.
Yes.
So
that
much
thing
you
is
can
a
do with
brain
it.
killer. It's so big.
I have nothing for either of these games. I
You've
will say
watched
I'm
me play
interested in
Kingmaker.
yeah. I like Kingmaker because I just thought it was goofy that she made like a fucking
When you
fighter
say-
dwarf.
I made a dwarf monk the first time I played it on
Yeah.
stream, and I just my
But
goal was to punch the shit out of
I-
everything.
I am of the group of people who have no love for Final Fantasy because I do not like overly complicated, long, drawn out stories.
So I will say this one, the what I love about 10 was it's not overly complicated. It's pretty straight to the point. They
Yeah.
kind of, not to say they simplified the story, but they definitely made it a little easier to follow. Like, it's not overly complicated. No huge
Like,
plot twist halfway
to-
through the game.
To put into perspective, the only thing I understand from Final Fantasy is there's some emo-looking dude in a trench coat with a really long katana whose mom is in a jar and her titties
That's
out, but she's
7.
hooked up to wires.
Yeah, it's 7. Everybody knows.
And,
That's why.
that's all I remember from anything.
That's
and
what
even
makes
then,
7
I'm
so
just like,
controversial
what?
is how just overly
He's the guy
ridiculous
with
the
mommy
storyline
issues.
is. But 10 kind of cleared it up. It also
Yeah.
has super cool intro scene
Yeah.
with the heavy rock music.
Yep, another world awaits.
Yeah, it was a great
Uh,
game.
Yeah,
I
it's-
guess my vote would go with Pathfinder then, since I know more about that one than I do Final Fantasy.
Lancer,
Final Fantasy 10.
Corey.
Final Fantasy X for the fact you can make Yuna a fucking tank.
That's so gross. Why would you
The
do
moment-
that?
The moment you make your summoner the fucking tank.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm torn here because of how much I love 10, but how much focus I have on these styles of game that Pathfinder falls in. Like, that is my main, like, that is, I'm streaming Pillars of Eternity. Pathfinder Kingmaker is next on the list. Pillars of Eternity 2 is going to be up there soon. Like, that is where my head is right now. So I'm kind of torn between the two. And so right now, I think I have to go with Kingmaker and split the tie. Or
Alright,
split
odds
the
or
votes.
evens.
So we're going to do, based on the way it's listed on the bracket, we're going to do odds for Final Fantasy X because it's on the top part of the bracket. And Pathfinder is going to be evens because it's on the bottom part. So I'm going to roll the six-sided die. And
It's loaded.
it is loaded.
It's loaded for Pathfinder.
It did come up as a 2. I can take a picture of it if you want it.
No,
Pathfinder wins.
It was one of the.
Fucking loaded.
That's Pathfinder.
I mean,
Okay.
for me, Final Fantasy 10 is number 3, so I it's fine.
Yeah, it's.
I'm
I mean,
okay
it's
with this.
it's a really good game, and I love it so much. And
Oh
it's
yeah, it's fantastic.
all in all, like, I probably like it better than Pathfinder, but it's just because of where I'm at right now with games.
Well, wait a minute. This is a tie then.
Well, yeah, that's what I
We just
said.
had the tiebreaker.
We just had the tiebreaker. I rolled the dice.
Oh, odds even. Okay, sorry, I didn't hear that. It all cut out for a second there. I was like, wait a minute. Fuck.
Okay, so now I have to get this on there.
Brandon did a fart.
Okay. And last up in the first round, we have Vagrant Story versus Xenogears.
Other things, I have no idea what the fuck
Yeah,
they
I'm
are.
just gonna let Lancer take this one away and follow
Oh,
Lancer's
no.
lead because
Oh,
I have
no.
not played either of
Yeah.
these games. I've heard
Fuck.
of Vagrant Story, but
Not like this. Okay. So very, very. I'm gonna try to be brief with this. Vagrant Story came out. I don't know, like early 2000s, right after. It was during the time where gaming got easy. Gaming was easy. When you picked up Vagrant Story, it fucking punches you in the face. This is like Dark Souls for RPGs.
oh,
Before Dark Souls was even a thing. This is it right here. This game was hard as shit, but the game was very very deep, in terms of like combat. Things mattered, like what weapons you used on what kind of armors. So you had piercing, bladed, blunt. It also mattered like what you were attacking with what weapon, and like different. You could target different body parts and stuff like that. Um, and there was like a combo system. If you timed your hits correctly, he would do another attack, a subsequent attack, and basically you keep chaining combos, and the window would get smaller every time you get a hit. The window would get smaller, and you'd have to like kind of learn the rhythm. If you get like a 20 something hit combo, you're doing it. You're doing pretty well in that game. But it's hard as shit, man. It's a really really hard game, but it's so good. It feels so rewarding when you get it down. It had the unfortunate. It was unfortunate what it was like up against at the time. So it probably didn't get a lot of play because of that. I want to see what time, like what year was that? Because
I just had it pulled up. Let me see if I still have it pulled up.
I'm looking at all these images.
It's 2000.
Yeah, so Vagrant Story came out in 2000 on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'm getting two separate sets of artwork for this game. Like, there's the very Final Fantasy-esque looking artwork, and then there's artwork where he shows up as this massive buff dude. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Is that fan art?
I'm not sure. It looks like an official poster, but in one he's like, but in the game his model has so much shading on his muscles. I can understand the fan art if it is fan art. It's like, what the fuck?
It's a very interesting looking game. I like the way it looks. I like the way it sounds so far.
It looks like a very gritty version of Final Fantasy, is what I'm getting from the in-game models and such.
Yeah, it's pretty gritty. Yeah, it
looks like a precursor to Kingdom Hearts, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, I mean,
just the way the art
so
looks.
Hard. Like,
I mean, even on the game cover, which I found, it looks like they're a set of keyblades crossing each other.
Oh no! It doesn't play anything like.
Yeah, no, I saw
Kingdom
the
Hearts,
little bits of it when I looked at it.
It's one of those
kind of, isn't it?
Sort of. It's sort of turn-based because you have to wait for your action meter to fill up.
Okay.
But yeah, this game it was mostly slept on, but it's still great. It's a great game. And then Xenogears is another one that was. I mean, I don't think Xenogears was slept on, but Xenogears is more of a traditional turn-based RPG. But you had any of you guys played Xenosaga?
No.
No. Okay.
Google it.
Basically, yeah,
Xenoblade.
they're not the same.
Xenosaga. Yes, I did play Xenosaga.
You did? Okay, so
I
it's
didn't play
similar
much
to
of it,
that.
but I did play it.
So yeah, so it's very similar to that. You had you can hit like, you had your action meter, right, which was like, go up to, I forgot what it went up to, but like your heavy attack would do 3, would take 3 off the bar. Your triangle attack would take off 1. Your square attack would take off 2. So you'd have a bar, and you could do, combinations. And then after a while, you could learn like, finishing blows or death blows, they'd call them. So you'd have these really, really cool looking. I mean, this cool looking for PS1, but yeah, some really cool looking finishers, and some funny ones where the guy puts a blanket over the enemy's crotch and shoots a shotgun, like a shotgun, but it's like a beam. Goes right through him.
Shotgun
the kid,
laser.
Yeah, the kid with the gun is probably the coolest character in that game. The main character is badass, and then so not to forget about the mechs that you get into. You get in the mechs, and the mech fights are pretty dope too. They're pretty badass.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I played Xenogears when I was very, very small, and it actually held my attention.
Because there are mechs. Anything that has mechs
there are
will grab
mechs in it.
Yeah, the mech system was. I mean, it wasn't as deep as the outside of the mech. Like the combat system outside of the mech was a lot more in depth. But it was still enjoyable. And the story was
giant robot.
Yeah, and the storyline was like, it was kind of the same thing happening over generations and generations, over time, and they're trying to basically like break the cycle or whatever. So I mean, the story's pretty convoluted, but it's still pretty.
It's an old school
good.
JRPG, of course.
It's gonna be convoluted because JRPG. But if I had to pick between the two, if I say, hey guys, this is a game you have to play, man, it sucks because I really like Vagrant Story, but something that's more mainstream appeal, it's gotta be Xenogears. So for me, it'd be Xenogears.
I guess I'm going with Xenogears on this one because
Okay.
it's the only one I can remember keeping my attention in the JRPG sense.
Corey, what do you think?
Haven't played either one of them, but from the descriptions you were saying, I'll have to go with Xenogears.
I was gonna say
Max
Vagrant
are
Story.
Max are cool shit. Greg.
Vagrant Story sounds like it's really
I mean,
cool.
I would say play both, but if I had to pick one, yeah, it's got to be Xenogears. But
All right.
Vagrant Story is like if you like,
Whoa! What
if you
just
like
happened?
a challenge.
Sorry. I think I made a giant circle on accident.
Oh.
It is now the Venn diagram
I'm
competition.
glad that got caught.
So yeah, Vagrant Story was Dark Souls before Dark Souls was even thought of.
It was Dark
It
Souls
looks
before
Not
Dark
even
Souls.
a thing. Yeah, Dark Souls before Dark Souls. The game, yeah, like Mac was saying, is very gritty looking. Like everything was very dark and yeah, dark and gritty, pretty much. Yeah. And there's the storyline is a lot of like betrayal and stuff like that, and they're basically this guy's trying to clear his name because he got set up. So like
The
you
classic
basically
good story.
Yeah,
you relive the events leading up to it. Like I think it's like 2 weeks before, and just
all right.
it's a great game though. It's both of them are great.
Sounds pretty nifty. So let's move on to the round 2 of our bracket, the quarterfinals.
This is gonna go a lot faster now.
Yeah, it is. It is because we've already spent the detail part of talking about them. Our first matchup: Devil May Cry 5 versus Final Fantasy 6.
I'm going with DMC.
I love both series. I love both games. I've invested more into DMC 5, so I'm probably gonna have to go DMC 5. Lancer?
I was waiting for Corey.
Oh,
I
Final Fantasy.
agree with DMC5.
Okay. Well, I'm the only one.
don't get me wrong. Final Fantasy 6 is a good game, but it's just I'm not gonna lie. I haven't played that much of it, and it's been a long time since I've even tried to pick it up.
Yeah, no, fair. I mean, I would say every time somebody, the conversation comes up about Final Fantasy, I always say, it's like Final Fantasy 6 is the best one. Fight me, like, fight me.
It's like
But,
Final. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say Final Fantasy is like is almost like booze, right? Like everybody has their own taste for what they like, and that's why those arguments about what the best Final Fantasy game is never gonna end.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, this part of the bracket, everything past the first round is gonna go by super quick.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
and for the record, I did enjoy DMC 5 as well. So it's just it went up against one of my favorite games of all time. But DMC 5 is fantastic though too.
We're gonna get a lot of flack for that. I can already tell.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh well, it's just
Well,
how
we'll get flack
I
from
will
either
remind
side,
that
man.
this
It
is
don't
not what the best game is. This is just what we enjoy.
We agree with.
Yeah. And even then, we're not even agreeing. So the next matchup, I have a feeling this one's going to go pretty quick. Tales of Vesperia against Mabinogi. Any discussion here? We want to throw quick votes.
Tails.
I was gonna just straight up.
I think
because I don't know Vesperia, so
the Tales of series. It's I haven't played this one, but it's a series that I know.
The Cinderella story. She's out.
Okay. I feel like the next two are gonna have some actual arguments.
Ooh, yikes.
Oh fuck yeah.
That is yes, very. Why did you do this to us, Angered? Why?
You know, it's kind of just how I like to do things. So the next,
It's in his name.
this one specifically, I feel like is going to be a tough. Dad of War against Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I am going to go with God of War just because I am very heavy. Oh no, that wouldn't make sense then because I'm heavy into a lot of mythology and fuck Castlevania. No.
Castlevania has a lot of mythology background too. Like it's
Shit, both are super good though. Ah. Fuck. No.
this is a battle
Dad of
of.
War.
I already know Corey's going Dad of War.
Yeah.
Corey wants
He's
Dad
got
of
the
War to
beard,
win
he
the whole
has to.
thing.
He's got a beard.
I
Oh,
it's a battle of an old school innovator against a new school old school combo platter.
Ah.
you can say
Yeah.
hack and slash.
I'm gonna go with God of War because I'm excited to see what they do next. Unfortunately, I don't have the excited to see what they do next with Castlevania. Well, maybe with the Netflix series, but we're not talking about shit to watch.
So that's 2 for Dad of War. Lancer, where are you sitting?
I enjoyed both of these. I feel like it's one of those things. Like, my opinion on this is gonna be 10 years from now. How well will these games hold up? I feel like they both still kind of will still hold up.
Yeah, they're both.
Yeah, they're still both very solid. I think that just for it being like kind of an innovator in its own genre, I'm gonna go with Symphony on this one. But God of War is like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a tough round, man.
It
This was
is.
really
It
tough.
is. And I'm not gonna lie.
It's a tough matchup.
My vote's a little biased on this one. I look at the 2 games and it's what do I want to play right now? What do I want to play tomorrow? What am I gonna look a couple years down the road and be like, what do I want to play? Symphony of the Night. I can still play it to this day. Like I said, man, I can pick that game up, tell you where everything is, and I still have these urges to go back and beat this game because it's just
We've got 2 beards versus 2 castles.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
and
I
it's-
mean, I think it's timeless. I think
it
Symphony
is.
one of
It
those
holds up
timeless-
It
really
is.
nicely.
I give it credit where credit's due. It's a fucking time.
We have another tie. All right, so we have God of War is going to be the odds. Castlevania is going to be the evens.
Come on, Dad, you can
And it comes up as a 5. Dad of War moves on.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of sad to see Castlevania Symphony of the Night get crushed, but I feel like that was a favorite to win this whole
for the
thing.
game it's against.
Yeah.
Just sad I've already crossed it out.
Oh,
3-year-old.
Damn.
oh, that hurts. You hurt my feelings. I see.
God,
Go
it's
go and
solid.
play it though. I guarantee you go and play that game and then come back and tell me that it loses immediately to God of War.
Probably won't be telling you that, but all right.
I'm telling you, man, your whole perspective of things about that game is going to be changed after you play it.
Well, it's going to be 2 different experiences. You got the nostalgic factor of
That's
Castlevania.
you know what, that's true. I didn't even take that into consideration.
Yeah, there's a heavy nostalgia factor you gotta think about too.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is one for God of War too. You can't count that out.
I mean, I know people that have played Symphony for the first time, like now,
Mhm.
and yeah, so there's no nostalgia at all, and it holds up.
Yeah. Hey,
hold
a
up.
fun game is a fun game.
Yeah, it's just very well made, minus
Yeah.
the voice acting's.
The music is so good
That
too.
adds it.
It
That adds
adds
to
to it. Yeah, the voice acting is
It adds
like
to the fun. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like Resident Evil 1. Resident Evil 1 had horrible voice
Oh,
acting,
God,
like
they-
the worst. But it
keeps
was
from
part of the
being
charm.
Too edgy.
Yeah, it was part of the charm, and I mean, that's kind of what Symphony of the Night has too. Like their voice acting's kind of part of the charm. The soundtrack's fantastic. Everything
Oh,
about
yeah.
that game is
Fuck.
just so well done.
I didn't even
So-
say about the soundtrack.
Yeah, you
Oh.
won't regret it, Corey. You play Symphony of the Night, it's like would you say like 10, 15-hour game?
Yeah, it's not a super long game. There's not a lot to it. It you can sit down and play it in between things, But
I
it
mean,
just
if you ever want to beat the shit out of death and see how that goes, you can do that in that
and
game too.
it's not like super easy, but it's not super hard either. The game nicely progresses with you. But before we get too far off track, because I could talk about that game for a while. That's one of those.
Same. Same.
Our last quarterfinal matchup: Pathfinder Kingmaker against Xenogears or Xenogears.
I would probably have to go with, and it goes against everything I love, Kingmaker, just because I do like an interesting story, and I don't remember much about Xenogears other than giant robots. As much as I love giant robots, I can't go with a game I don't know. Or too much. Don't know too much.
Man, I am really showing my age right now with these game choices, like Final Fantasy VI on the SNES, Xenogears,
What,
like
31?
super.
Yeah, you're not that much older than us. Well, Mac, but
Yeah, I'm 20. I'm going on 24 this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
A quarter of the way there.
I'm almost 29.
Corey, how old are you?
29.
Yeah, he's 29 this year too.
Yes, yeah, I'm.
He does not look like that at all. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was like my age.
Yeah, 29.
So
Yeah, no, I'm 38, and yeah, I'm showing it. My age is
You don't
showing
even
here.
look 38.
yeah, no.
You don't.
I thought you were
You
like
really don't, man.
No,
31, 32, something like that.
Lancer, where are you going with these?
I mean, I gotta stick with my guns on this one, and I don't know anything about Pathfinder. It
That's
is on
fair.
the 2 playlist, but I can't give an opinion on it, so I'll have to just go with Xenogears and hope
Fair.
for the best.
Corey?
So, I haven't played either one. But if I'm going off of which one like catches my attention more, I would say Pathfinder.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going Pathfinder. I have a deep affection for these type of games. It's buried in Dungeons and Dragons back stuff. So I think we have a 3-1 on Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
All right.
No, I don't want to circle. Fuck.
Yes, you do.
Both times I've goofed and I've caught it on camera. But when I do things correctly, it's off camera.
Nice.
Just like when you're like with your parents, you do something good and then they don't see it, but then you do something stupid and they definitely see that, even though they're not in the room.
All right.
A mile away.
and they won't let you forget it.
Yeah.
So our final four feels like a battle of giants. Devil May Cry 5, Tales of Vesperia, God of War, and Pathfinder Kingmaker. So let's start with our first matchup: Devil May Cry 5 against Tales of Vesperia.
Going with the MC5 again. I have no idea what Vesperia is.
This is.
No,
Go ahead,
this is
Lancer.
gonna be tough.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I see Corey. Yeah.
This is tough.
It's-
really tough.
He's going full philosopher mode. He's gonna stroke his fucking beard off.
I think the way I have to come at these games, because they're both phenomenal series. They both it's the classic. This is the best representation of Western RPGs against one of the best representations of Eastern RPGs as far as full series go, right? Because Devil May Cry was the standard for Western RPGs. Like every big Western RPG that comes out nowadays is has roots in Devil May Cry system, the upgrade system and the way that you unlock your weapons and abilities. And then you have Tales of, which is just such a great series for storytelling. Again, it has a lot of games have roots in its combat system, and it's super Japanese, which is what people love from Japanese RPGs. It's just how obscenely Japanese they are. It's tough, man. I kind of have to look at them as separate games from their series,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna stick with DMC5 on this one.
So we got how many for DMC?
Two so
I think
far.
me and Mac, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lancer, where are you at on this?
Oof. Well, like you said, I'm gonna have to go with just on the surface the game individually. Yeah, Tails. I just played way too many hours of that to go against it. Devil May Cry 5, enjoyed my time with it. Fantastic game. Tails just has that extra, like, it held me for so long, so I gotta go with Tails. Tales of Vesperia is fantastic, so I just gotta stick with it.
Fair dinkum. Fair dinkum.
Corey?
I'm gonna have to go with Tails.
Ooh.
I love. Don't get me wrong. I love Devil May Cry, but 5 was just a little bit too short.
I will agree with you on that one. It
I-
seemed
Five
much
was
shorter
too
compared to
short.
the other
I
one.
haven't finished it, so I don't know.
There's
I-
like 15 missions, something like
And
that.
again, it was meant to be like a wrap up of the series, so it's like a quick like, hey, we did it. You guys
And
can
then
leave
they
us
opened
alone
up
now.
another series. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think if you were to go series versus series, Tales of wins 9 times out
Oh
of 10.
yeah.
It's
Well,
I have no idea.
Wait, hold on. I have a counterpoint though, this actually goes against my vote. There are there are more Tales of games that kind of fell short and missed the mark than there are Devil May Cry games. But then again, there's a lot of volume in Tales of.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
But
fair.
they
missed-
they missed the mark a few times though.
I think the only hiccup in DMC's history was DMC.
Yeah, exactly. That was the only that's the
Yeah.
only one. And I think 2 was even still enjoyable. So
2 was a little
So
rough.
it was a little rough
Yeah.
around the edges from what I remember.
yeah,
But like
Yeah, it
speed
was-
bump, like I smashed my forehead into the ceiling of my car hiccup. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
DMC.
Yeah, we're talking about Devil May Cry 2.
Oh man, so I think we're split, right? I think we're split.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have odds for DMC and evens for Tales of. Here we go, and it's 6. Tales of moves on.
Fair.
Our first final contestant.
God, I'm just remembering DMC now and the dumpster fire that was. It's just playing through my brain.
Like you can't unplay that.
Bro, you kill a fucking baby in that game.
Wow.
I know it's a demon baby,
Yeah,
but
it's
even
yeah.
then, it's a
Alright.
baby.
So we go to our other semifinalist, God of War versus Pathfinder Kingmaker. This is going to be a quick conversation.
Yeah, I'm sorry, God of War.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm
For obvious
on
reasons.
Pathfinder. That's where I am, but you can't diminish what God of War has done. I don't think we need much more conversation past that.
Fucking, it's so fucking nuts, that game. Crazy.
Shame to see you go, Pathfinder, but here comes Dad of War.
I've already written that one down too, by the way.
You're awful.
Dude, God of War goes hard.
So we
I've
come
already
down
written a
to
winner.
our finale for this bracket. Tales of Vesperia against God of War.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
God of War. I don't know anything about Tales of Vesperia, but in the sense of God of War and what it does, the fact that they so very nonchalantly managed to fucking smash together 2 completely different religious, religious groups and somehow connect them through one fucking character, one very angry dad, is fucking amazing.
Dad.
I never thought I'd see the Greek gods and the Nordic gods in one universe that somehow works. And I am on board for that game no matter what, and I can't wait to see where else it goes. I hope that his son becomes the next Kratos in like some crazy sense.
Interesting.
And it would be dope to see. So God of War, all the way for me.
This one for God of War. Lancer?
So this is where Tales of Vesperia ends. I've been championing this game since the beginning of the bracket. It's great. Like you guys, if you haven't played it, you should definitely play it.
I kind of want to check it out. Almost.
I can't go against God of War here though. I would like my opinion on anything else would be diminished if I went against God of War. It's like, oh, DarkLancer don't know what the fuck he's talking about. If I pick Tales of Vesperia, like I understand this. I'm not gonna just like, I'm not gonna be biased and just like, oh, because I picked this game. I mean, I'm glad it made it this far, but I cannot go against God of War. God of War is just it's just too good. It's too good.
Corey's probably already got his shit scratched.
Yeah, Corey's probably already got his bracket finished.
Yeah, he knew, yeah.
So, all right. Anything else you want to input with it, Corey? Or you just died of war.
Well, mainly for it's got a combination of nostalgia factor as well.
Mm-hmm.
As like I played every single one since it came out.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, Chains of Olympus, Ascension, all of that. And it just wins hands down with it.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to the last Tales of matchup that it had with DMC5, where it's a great Western series against a great Eastern series. Like they're two totally clashing style of RPGs. But what I think Dad of War has, and I'm just gonna keep calling it Dad of War.
It is Dad of War.
I think what it has over Devil May Cry is that, well, Devil May Cry is a great game. There's a lot to nitpick at it, right? Like the story gets too goofy sometimes. And I know that it takes itself seriously, but it's just there's moments where you just kind of lose yourself in just how silly everything is. Whereas with the God of War series, it takes itself serious. It knows what kind of level it's on, which kind of elevates the storytelling to a whole new level. And when it comes to RPGs, it's all about the story, right?
Yeah.
The story and the battle mechanics. Those are the two best things about RPGs. So yeah, I think we're unanimous. Dad of War wins the bracket.
Yeah.
Dude, this is where you'd have confetti and streamers.
For God of War, it'd just be blood and like the head of Baldur kind of coming off the screen, sliding down slowly.
Actually, can we Photoshop Corey onto God of War onto Kratos? Like, yeah, dude, yeah, that'll be the thumbnail for the episode.
I mean, he's already.
No, that would give it away though. That'd give it away. So we don't want to do
I
that.
I lost my text. Hold on, keep talking.
maybe on the like at the end of the episode, like
that's gonna be the outro screen.
Yeah, it's gotta be the classic God of War music. You know that hectic fucking song, just dun 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 dun.
All right, so our winner for the RPG bracket, Dad of War.
Damn.
It went up against some heavy hitters.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only time it was really in danger was Symphony, right?
Yeah,
was it Symphony.
Yeah. I think,
but I mean, it was up against Borderlands too, which is
I think if it wasn't an RPG bracket and it went up against Borderlands, we probably would have gotten split.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun though. That was a great bracket. There were some heavy hitters on that bracket that went out early, and then there were some smaller names that went a lot farther than I was expecting. Do you guys do you have any shout outs you want to throw out that kind of fell short of the bracket for other games that you put in?
Persona 5,
that was going to be one of mine.
I was actually gonna say, I was gonna ask, I was kind of propose a question here. What could have beaten God of War?
What could have beaten?
Yeah.
That's a toughie.
For me,
honest, the closest thing would have to be like Red Dead 2.
Well, I mean, would we consider I never played Red Dead. Is that?
It's
have RPG
kind
elements?
of.
Yeah, it has a nice story to it.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. To me, Symphony of the Night still beats Dad of War. But games that weren't in this bracket that could beat God of War, that's tough.
For me, it would be it was one Metroid game involving like an evil version of Samus's armor that was like possessed.
Oh, you're
fucking
talking
amazing.
about Metroid
Fusion?
Fusion?
Yeah, Metroid Fusion is a fucking because it takes Metroid. It's a silent protagonist game, of course, because it's on like a Game Boy, but somehow makes the most terrifying fucking enemy in the sense that it's this version of your character with white beady eyes that is unrelenting and just demolishes everything. It goes up to a door which you would normally just shoot and annihilates the fucking door. It says buy door, don't need it. So I would say Metroid Fusion because the feeling it can invoke by telling a story quietly.
uh, um, Most Legend of Zelda games I think would be Dad of War. I say
Fair.
most.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Well, I don't really like Majora's Mask. Unpopular opinion time. Did not like Majora's Mask. Conversation for another time.
It's an alright game.
Breath of the Wild.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yes.
Yeah,
That's
that
got so
one.
much replayability.
All of which are
Then
good
again,
shout
that
outs.
game in the sense of the point you brought up earlier with silliness, that game gets pretty fucking silly.
Yeah.
Like there's a literal portion of the game that takes up a good chunk of it where you have to cross dress to get into a place.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you have to constantly cross-dress to get into that place.
Yeah.
You can't get into that place as like a male. You can't.
Yeah, the moment penis is out, they're like, "What the fuck is that? Kill it!" So it's silly
So-
in that sense.
I actually do have one that would be God of War, and I think you'll agree, Greg.
What's that?
Legend of Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon. That's another good real shout out. Early PlayStation game.
Yeah.
It kind of gave Final Fantasy a little run for its money.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Its combat system was so unique and so cool.
I know. I still have the discs.
I think I have
actually
it
remember this game.
on. I think I have it on Vita. I think I downloaded it for my Vita, and I need to go back and play it.
It came with 4 discs. I still got all 4 of them.
I do like. There weren't many big heavy hitters on the bracket, which I think kind of shows that we didn't want to just break things because, like,
Yeah.
I mean, aside from
Yep.
Final Fantasy 6 and 10, which both lost to dice rolls, there weren't there weren't any Legend of Zelda games. There weren't any Mario games. There weren't, those big heavy hitters that, like, no matter what you put it up against, it's not gonna lose. I
I
think
tried to keep it within like
Yeah.
the past 10 years at least because I know if I were to go past that, nostalgia would have beaten it right away.
yeah, I
I
think
went the full 10-decade shitter mode.
the one that carried the most weight on the list was probably Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and even that lost out at pretty early on.
Yeah, I left Breath of the Wild out for that reason because I felt like it's really there's really not a lot you could put up against it. It
Yeah.
probably would have
Yeah.
it would have steamrolled.
Early
All the way-
Pokemon games.
It would have steamrolled to the finals basically. So I mean this
We need to
this
wear
had-
shirts for this.
there was more parity here, which
Yeah.
led to better conversations.
Oh yeah,
If we would have had Breath of the Wild, all right, next round.
yeah,
You
pretty
know.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
so,
it was all heavy hitters.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Then-
God.
I mean, yeah.
then you
that's-
want a 5-hour podcast?
Yeah.
Is that what you
I
want?
think at one point we need to do the OP
It'd be a
bracket.
2-part for one bracket.
Oh, the OP bracket.
The
Oh,
OP
yeah.
bracket, just a list of games that are too strong.
I would have put Metal Gear Solid on that list. Ooh.
Surprisingly
Gear's
enough, we
the
have a
shit.
Metal Gear Solid on the shooter list.
I almost put Metal Gear on.
But that's another heavy hitter. That's like, how do you compete
I
with
know,
Metal
that-
Gear
that's
Solid? That's
Why I didn't.
so.
I think I did actually.
it's on the shooter
Yeah,
list.
you put Phantom Pain on that bitch.
Okay.
Um,
okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
we don't have time to get into the shooter bracket. Otherwise, this would end up as a 5-hour podcast. So we'll have to break that off for next week.
Okay.
Assuming Mr. Lancer is available. If not, we'll just have to delay it for a little while.
I'm good.
But if it's okay with you guys, I do want to kind of show it off a little bit so that people can think about what we have coming up. And give you guys a chance to think about it as well. So for our shooter bracket, this is the RPG bracket. Greg, what are you doing? Okay, so in our first matchup, we have Borderlands 1 against Bioshock 1.
Damn.
Matchup 2 is Perfect Dark against Destiny 2.
That's an easy one.
Well, don't go giving anything away yet.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're saving it for next week. But
They don't know
matchup-
which one is an easy one.
Matchup 3, we have Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain against Enter the Gungeon.
I love both of those choices.
Matchup 4, Battlefield 1 against Halo. Matchup 5, Doom 2016 against Warframe.
Easy.
Matchup 6, Left 4 Dead against Microvolts. Matchup 7, Call of Duty Modern Warfare against Rainbow Six Siege. And the final matchup for the shooter bracket, Gears of War 3 against Time Crisis 3.
Ooh.
I'm excited about a lot of those matchups. I think
yes.
it's going to be a good one next week.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of parity there too. I don't see a clear cut winner. So
Yeah.
this should lead to some pretty good conversation as well.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So normally for our outro, we do a nice little crazy question that we come up with. Lancer, I'm sure you've seen those. I don't have anything prepared. I don't think any of us do, unless you have some sort of...
Max turn.
It was Max's turn. I forgot to mention it though, so that's on
Fuck.
me. But instead, I think in lieu of what we're doing, I think we switch up that as well. And I wanna turn the hypothetical question to our audience and say if you were gonna add 4 games to that bracket, that RPG bracket that we did today, what 4 games would you have brought to the table? You know, let us know. For you guys on
question.
YouTube, or if
I
you
want
know,
to see a hentai game in there.
for you guys watching this live, let us know, man.
Beach volleyball.
This one's on you guys for answers. I'd love to see what everyone would have brought to the table. I'd love to see what you guys have to think about all this, because I had a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Oh fuck
Yeah.
yeah!
I mean, as soon as I saw the the format for today's show, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fucking awesome. I was like, this is gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a lot of this is the kind of conversations you have when you're having having a few drinks at a party, all your gamer friends, and you guys just talking for hours and hours and hours and just throwing them back.
Yeah.
This is that kind of. I mean, if I didn't have to work tomorrow, I would have probably thrown a few back. 'Cause this was that kind of conversation. It's like very chill. Have a few drinks.
Yeah.
Drink
Oh, yeah.
responsibly.
Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. So, Mr. Lancer, since you're our guest, go ahead, plug yourself. Where can we find you?
Oh. I was not ready for this.
Give us your home address. Your,
Yeah, give us your home address, zip code, mother's
room
maiden
you're in.
name.
Your debit card number.
So I guess this is where it's like, you could find me in the description below.
Yeah.
This is that
kinda-
section. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So yeah, I do a little stream on Twitch. It's DarkLancer81, Twitch TV /DarkLancer81. On Instagram, DarkLancer81, and then everything else gets weird, so I'm not even gonna mention it. You can find me in those 2 places.
Find everything else from there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could find pretty much everything else from my Twitch page, and and my and then my Discord link is there as well. Also, if you guys anyone's interested in IWA, the Discord link is also on the channel, and then
I might
there's
check it out
also
myself.
yeah, it's a good time, man. It's a really good time. We put a lot of work into it, and writing out storylines and all that stuff, and doing the commentary live. So it's like everything's pre-recorded, pre-produced, and then we do a live over it. It's a good time. So yeah, there's also a site for that. I guess we'll put that in a description thingy below thingy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
I need
It's
to
like,
start
I'm not
doing that
sure.
on the YouTube
It's
videos,
like-
putting everybody's links in the
Yeah.
description.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how this works. It's my first podcast.
No, you're good. Corey, Mr. WhiteLightningBean, tell us where we can find you.
You just find me on twitch.tv /WhiteLightningBean.
Yes,
Or
without
if
the
you're me,
E.
spell it white lightning.
Lightning.
Yeah,
Bean.
that White Lightning Bean. White Lightning.
I'm gonna hate that forever.
Mac, plug.
find me on Twitch at Astro_Chomp. I'm actually going to be streaming more often. As a small update from the last episode, I got my monitor from my good friend Egg here and his lovely wife, who it was her suggestion to send it to me. So I'm actually able to manage and edit things more. I'm hoping to do kind of, once I start learning a little bit of a more artistic stream involving 3D modeling. And I was going to learn up until the point where I could feel comfortable with it because I wanted my first project to be a 3D render of the egg golem. And I was going to save that as a surprise for this episode to mention because I figured it'd be fucking cool as hell to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, find me on twitch.tv, whatever / Astro_Chomp.
Okay. And then, of course, myself, you can find me twitch.tv / angered_egg. On Twitter and YouTube, it is just Angered Egg without the underscore. Still not much going up on the YouTube. I'm slacking on that front. It's pretty much just podcasts right now. Yeah, I think that's about it. And make sure you guys come back next week for the conclusion of our second bracket. Well, for the beginning and conclusion of our second bracket.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Podcast.
You guys have a wonderful night. Everybody say goodbye.
So
Bye.